very point of human existence, I believe that God can have a physical experience of love. I can't figure out any other reason for being one. I think it's a pretty good one. So I'm happy with it. I'll go with it. The Buddhists have a wonderful aphorism, which many of you may know. It goes like this. Now, picture a big moon with me. Okay, up here, big moon. Right? Huge, harvest moon. All right? And everybody point to the moon. All right, are you pointing to the moon? Do you see the moon? Okay. And the aphorism is, if you know it, join me. The finger pointing at the moon is not the moon. The finger pointing at the moon is not the moon. Your thought about the moon is not the moon. All the thoughts there are in the world about you are not you. My thoughts about me are not me. And yet we believe they are. And we believe that's the truth. We believe what we think. This week, Greg and I met, and we were working on this year's musical. Yeah, we had to start way back to prepare for musical, which is going to be the end of October. This year is going to be a country western theme. It's going to be fun. It's going to be knee-slapping fun. And I was reminded, and I shared this story with him, I was reminded by this meeting of the time I met Cowboy Jack. The year was 1995. And I was working a cattle drive on a family-owned ranch. It was my vacation. And it was the last day of the second cattle drive that we had done. And I was at the back of the herd, riding along with Jack. Now, to the naked eye, Jack was all cowboy. Mid-20s, lean, tanned, bandanaed, piece of straw hanging out of his mouth. And no unnecessary talk. You see, cowboys, they say what they mean. They mean what they say. And pert near a little less. So we were riding along for about 20 minutes. Nothing being said. But after 20 minutes, it's like, you know me. So I say, Jack, is this what you do most of the time? Jack said, I also paint. I said, oh, you mean like barns and houses? He said, no, mostly portraits and landscapes. Portraits and landscapes? Yes, I have a degree in fine arts from the University of Montana. Oh, I said. I also ride bulls. Bulls, as in rodeos? Yep. I won Calgary last year. Now, for those of you, some of you know. For those of you who don't know, the Calgary Rodeo is the biggest rodeo in the world. It's huge. And the year before, it would have been 1994, Jack won the bull riding competition at Calgary. He won it. For years, his wife had begged him, please stop riding those bulls. I don't want to be a widow. After he won a $25,000 purse, she said, Jack, honey, you keep riding and riding. $25,000, I can find me a husband. That's why we call it practical Christian spirituality. Practical. We believe what we think. And it's not true. while we readily create erroneous stories about others, we also hold mistaken beliefs about who we are, because we believe we are who we think we are. Let me rephrase that. You are not who you think you are. You are not who you think you are. Now, life bestows upon us many roles. What are some of the roles that life gives us? Just shout them out.
Wife.
Mother.
Wife, mother,
Son.
son, student, teacher, I heard,
Lover.
lover,
Daughter.
daughter, doctor, cook, preacher,
Golfer.
what?
Golfer.
Golfer, what? Chauffeur,
Gopher.
gopher. All those roles, all those titles, all those labels. There are others I didn't hear. Thief, arsonist, agitator, loser.
Terrorist.
How about this one? Pedophile. You feel that? You feel where the energy takes us? Let's go back to lover. Say it with me. Lover.
Lover.
Bring the energy back up. You see what the labels do to us? Whether it's true or not. See, the truth, the divine truth had nothing to do with our feeling. That was an illusion. It was a delusion. Some labels we like, as we demonstrated, some not so much. Who here has a voice in their head? Let me rephrase. Who here doesn't have a voice in their head? Okay, and who? Was there somebody that doesn't have a voice in their head? We're going to put you on Oprah. Is she on the other station? Okay. Who here? Raise your hand only if you have never believed what that voice said you were. If you've never believed what the voice said you were. Okay. So I'm in good company because I have that voice. And from time to time, I often believe what the voice says I am. So here's what I've done with that voice in my life. On those days, at those times, and those hours that I like what the voice is telling me, I go, right on, voice. I'm happy, I'm glad, I'm satisfied. And if I don't like what the voice is telling me, I say, let's get a new voice. Let's change the voice. Let me find a kinder, gentler, more enlightened voice. I'll change the voice and it'll be okay. But you know what? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Changing the voice doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't last. I mean, maybe I delude myself that for a period of time it's okay, but I know I'm kidding myself. I know I'm fooling myself. Because here's what I'm doing when I simply try to change the voice. I'm trying to solve the problem at the level of the problem, and that never works. You can never solve a problem at the level of the problem. It is essential to rise above. To rise above. If you want to solve the problem. So, if your inner voice, the one that tells you what you are, if that isn't who you are, if you are not your inner voice, who are you? And I would submit this. You don't have to take it. I'm just offering it. That you're not a who at all. You're a what. You are a what. And what you are is this. You are the awareness that you are not the voice in your head. Take a look at your voice right now. Stop and look at the voice. And you're going to just look at it, observe it. You are that awareness that what you're observing is not you. You are also the space. You are the space within which every thought, every belief you have forms and rises. You are the space within which emotions come forth, feelings are felt, sense perceptions are sensed. You are that space. You are the awareness, and you are the space. That awareness, that space, that is the divine presence. It is the one. It is the Christ within. It is the I am. In Hinduism, it's called the Atman. Say that with me, I love it. Atman. Together. Atman. Once more. Atman. I love the energy around that word. The Atman is the awareness. It's not the thought. It's not the feeling. It's not the emotion. It's the awareness and the space. That's what rises above and transcends the thoughts that are not us. The roles we play, the cars we drive, the homes we live in, all the things we have, these are all forms. And these forms are not reality. Now, mind you, we like the forms, don't we? Is that okay? It's okay with me. There are lots of forms that I like. I love the experience of driving my car. I wake up in gratitude every day to have a safe and warm and comfortable bed in a house that is both heated and cooled. There's nothing wrong with the forms. Nothing wrong with the forms. The issue isn't with the forms. The forms are a gift. The rub comes when we identify ourselves completely with the forms, when we define ourselves by virtue of the forms. If I'm a doctor, and being a doctor is everything to me, everything, and a change in a governmental regime strips me of my ability to practice medicine, I become nothing. I am nothing. If I'm a teenage boy and my mom and dad take away my car, I cease to exist. Now, wait a minute. If that happened to me, I would have ceased to exist. Do you see the attachment? I would have felt that way. It didn't happen. Mom and Dad never took the car keys away. Or a couple times maybe they should have, but they didn't know. They didn't know why they should. We become attached to these forms. We define ourselves by the forms. And the forms that we're talking about are thought forms. Really, the primary forms I'm talking about right now are not the things. It's the thought forms, meaning the beliefs we hold, the opinions we have, the points of view that we adopt. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever defended an opinion, a point of view that you felt passionate about? I mean, you defended it because it defined who you were, right? This is who I am. This is what I believe, and I'm going to defend it. How'd that work for you? Did your defending it change the person you were defending against? Did it ever change them?